The poem that I'm going to read today is called Four-Letter Word. What was that four-letter word from Carol and Brian that killed Emmett Till? Was it lies? Was it rope? What was that four-letter word that strangled the life of Elijah McClain? Was it neck? Was it hope? What was that word, that four-letter word that held George Perry Floyd's black neck to the curb? Was it free? Was it knee? What was the word, that four-letter word that fired the bullet that killed Dr. King? Was it fear? Was it fate? Or was it just hate? Thank you.
Four-letter words are one of my favorite things, Christopher. Thank you so much for being here and sharing that poem with us. What's happening with you in poetry?
Well, I think I've talked to you about this before. I'm going to put my email in the chat. I am seriously thinking about putting together an anthology of poetry called Silence is Consent, which basically is a response to what's happening in this country beginning on January 20th. And anybody who is interested in participating in this, email me, please. And I would be happy to send you information. I have a manifesto I'm just about written to let you know what this is going to be about and how I'm going to go about publishing this. So if you're interested, please, I'd be more than happy to hear from you. Thank you.
Sounds like important work. Thank you for doing that, Christopher. Appreciate it. Round of applause for Christopher Bogart. Thank you for being here. On deck, Catherine Paulson. Please welcome now Gail B. Hi, Gail.
Hi. Hi. I got I got off my email that has my poem. Okay. It's called Rag and Bones. Rag and bones were all that held her soul together, my dear sister, on the busy street of no care. As sharp as her hunger, she trashed her dignity a long time ago, as sudden as time's gone. I watched you insert the needle, push blood, push the dark substance, felt your void. I'm sorry, brother, you did not save yourself. I prayed for us today. Your vacant eyes had a gotcha grin. I watched the video you sent me long after it was over on the street of busy no care. Thank you. Christopher, I'm going to email you my thing. I have a book called Blue Jazz Sunday Brunch, and it's on Amazon for the new low price of, I think, zero. And if anybody ever buys it, all proceeds go to my great grandbaby who is two. Thank you.
It's a really good price for anything, Gail. You should think of charging less to attract more customers, I think. I'm glad you made it here today. I know you said you've been, before we started, you've been following Poetry Superhighway for a long time. So glad that you're here in person, as it were, and I hope you come again. Is there anything going on in your I guess you already told us you got a book.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, give us a link to it, and if we can swing the $0 price, we might just pick it up. All right, Gail, thank you so much. Round of applause for Gail B. On deck, Charlie Bryce. Please welcome now Catherine Paulson. Hello, Catherine.
Hi, am I unmuted? Yes, I'm unmuted. Hi, great to be here. And I'm in New York City. I don't write much formal poetry, and I've only written a couple of villanelles. This is one of them, and it's just possible that I read it, I don't know, before the election. It's something I wrote back in 2000, late 16 or early 17. And And I've revised it since, most recently before this election and then just now. It's called Conrad, and I make shameless use of Elizabeth Bishop's famous poem One Art. I use her rhyming words, and I use 5 of the 6 letters in her title, but instead of an E, I've got a C, and I've made them into an anagram. Anyway, Conrad. A conning rat still seeks to be our master. He's conned some voters who were so intent to be conned that they've brought us fresh disaster. The gulf from what he is to what we need is vaster than we've seen with any other president. Of lies and jeers and hate, alone he's master. He'll steal a feel, then claim he didn't harass her. Her ugliness would such an act prevent. He claims all dames who diss him are disasters. He blinds his dupes, making haste to plaster false claims while hiding where his money went. Of failing huge, not winning, he's a master. He bonds with bullies, tyrants, the most dastard dictators on every continent. His term in office was rife with cruel disaster. This is a test. We've got to face it faster than any challenge this new year has sent, and prove to all he's not this nation's master. For if we fail, he'll bring us worse disasters.
Yes, like a prophet, Catherine. Thank you so much for sharing that piece with us. Well done. Anything going on in your poetry world you want to tell us about?
Well, what's been going on for a while and with luck will be going on soon is a chapbook called The Poetry Habit, which is mostly lighter fare, is supposed to be forthcoming from Claire Songbird's publishing. It was supposed to be forthcoming in the fall, and I haven't heard from them. And I relate to Ron's comment. I signed an agreement, but one little bit of good news, we often have things accepted by journals that don't make it, and particularly during COVID, I think that happened. And there were 3 poems of mine accepted by the Vincent Brothers Review a couple of years ago, and I'd stopped submitting them elsewhere, but I'd kind of given up on it. And lo and behold, the issue is out. They actually pay. So, it's kind of nice when places hang on in there despite the difficulties. Anyway.
Yeah, I think in the history of the world, 4 people have made any money on poetry. So congratulations, Catherine. Well done. That's quite a feather to add to your cap. A paying market accepting your work. Congratulations on that. And thank you so much for being here as well today. Good to hear your work again. Round of applause for Catherine Paulson. On deck, Karen Pierce Gonzalez. Please welcome now Charlie Bryce. Hello, Charlie.
Hi, and Rick, it's good to know you're all right. And anyway, thanks for all you do. This poem is called Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, really? One large sooty building. That was Pittsburgh in my mind. I'd been living with my bride in Denver, where we breathed mountain air, had flocks of friends. But Pittsburgh, really? We flew into the burg to check it out. Would we wake up mornings and brush coal dust off each other? Once we arrived, I was smitten. There were streets of cobblestones and 3 rivers, real ones, not just the depth-challenged South Platte or the drippy trickle of Cherry Creek. I loved the accents and the lingo, loved how yins included everyone, as in, are yins going to the mall? Loved removing gum bands from my newspaper, redding up, that is, cleaning up my living room, and not sticking my nose into someone's business, what the locals called being nebby. Oh, my glee when I learned it was my God-given right to make a left turn before oncoming traffic could move, the infamous Pittsburgh left. I missed the Rockies, but adored Pittsburgh's steep hills. I cherished the sweet melancholy of overcast days, so different from the blaring sun and oppressively blue Colorado sky. Back west, if you didn't know someone, you were a stranger. In Pittsburgh, a stranger was someone to get to know. When I strolled the streets of Squirrel Hill, I might hear someone say shalom, another bonjour, and a guy with a pirate cap say he was going downtown. Once, while visiting our dry cleaner, the owner and I began a dialogue about the nature of light in Heidegger's philosophy and in the Torah. Then there was my neighbor's brick house, made of bricks I'd seen nowhere else. Those were Pittsburgh bricks. I even loved the goddamn bricks.
I think you've just insulted the entire brick community with that last phrase, Charlie. I'm not sure. I also was thinking when you started that any poem, the entire content of any poem about Pittsburgh could just be Pittsburgh, really? I mean, I feel that's enough.
Yeah, right there. I could have been. It could even be a lesser Zen cone, maybe Pittsburgh.
I like that one as well. Just, Pittsburgh and then a stunned look on your face.
Silence.
Look, you've got the Steelers. You can't, you got that
Yeah.
going.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We have the Steelers. Oh.
I'm going to let you go so you can find out what they're up to. Actually, Charlie, is there anything going on in your poetry world you want to let us know about?
Yeah, I have like many people, I have a contract, and supposedly I'm going to have a book coming out in about 5 months. I've been working with the publisher. It's called Tragedy in the Arugula Isle. I'm thinking of putting a trigger warning for anyone who's had a trauma with a leafy vegetable on the front of it. But yeah, it's coming out with Arroyo Seco Press, and so I'm kind of excited about that.
That's great. That's a press out of here, is it not?
Yeah. The guy's name is Tommy Thomas, and I think he lives near L.A. He's okay. I've communicated with him since the problems have occurred, and it has kind of held up a little bit some of the work we're doing on my book, which I think is understandable, and so we'll see. But I think it's going to come out in about 6 months. And he seems like a wonderful guy, and the press really. I've looked into the press. It's a beautiful press. They've done some wonderful work, so I'm excited about it. It'll be
Cool.
my ninth book.
That's fantastic. Well done. I also have a contract. Unfortunately, it's out on me, so it's a little bit of a different situation I'm trying to deal with. But I'm not really going to get into it because we have a long open reading list, and there's no. It's good to hear your voice again, Charlie. Thank you for being here.
Nice to see you.
Keep Pittsburgh. Keep Pittsburgh. That's all I have to
Yeah,
say.
really?
Round of applause for Charlie Bryce. Thank you, Charlie. On deck, Eric Lawson. Please welcome now Karen Pierce Gonzalez. Hello, Karen.
Hello, everyone. I hope I'm unmuted now. This is my first time here, and Rick, thank you for hosting. You have a tremendous sense of humor. It's wonderful. Keep it up. Keep it up. My one poem for today. Women are ocean. Tidal waves, pushing, pulling, dreams roiling, harboring secrets, drowning, churning, drifting above chipped coral reefs, cracked sea ridges, soggy sunken ships. Hidden by gnarled seaweed, waterlogged driftwood, rusted anchor chain shanties of labored voices, windblown sails, fishbone mouth harps, calling forth popped brine bubbles, restless undertows, ringing salty mermin dry for breakfast.
Well, now I'm starving. Karen, thanks for that. Welcome to Poetry Superhighway Live. I'm glad you're here
Thank
for the
you.
first time. I hope it's not the last. Where are you reading
I'm
to
in
us
the
from?
San Francisco Bay Area, North San Francisco. We've had
Oh.
our share of fires
You did.
for
You have.
decades.
Yeah. Well, as have we. We're just taking turns. So
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
there you go. Glad to be in California with you. What's going on in your poetry world that you want to tell us about?
Well, my third chap, Downriver with Lee Poe, is being published next month by Black Cat Poetry Press. And I'm the guest editor for Broken Spine Arts anthology, Beautiful Fools, based on the centennial of the Great Gatsby. And I have a poetry workshop coming up with Fincabulary at the end of the month. So I'm a busy girl. Thank you.
Very good. Well, keep up all of that work, and please come back and read for us more. And thanks
you.
for being here.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Karen P. Gonzalez, first time at Poetry Superhighway Live. We are zooming through the list. that's funny. On deck is Judy Bryce. Please welcome now Eric Lawson. Hello, Eric.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to read a newer poem based on just what I've been seeing on the news about the fires and just try to kind of give everybody a little bit of hope. So the name of the poem is Onoikodomo, which is Greek for rebuild. With ashes in your hair, smoke in your lungs, you crawl from under the smoldering rubble. The Los Angeles night has become a hellscape, a modern-day Pompeii live on the internet. But this is not some weak sauce ending. You are in the middle, not the epilogue. Standing on the beach, watching in awe as the Getty Villa is surrounded by flames. Standing in the Palisades as pets wander aimlessly and children seek out their parents. Standing amidst the Angeles National Forest as homes, hospitals, churches, and schools are all dominoes toppled by inferno tornadoes. But this is not the time to roll over cowering. You are not helpless, not a human sacrifice. You will start again. The skies will clear, sea breeze in your lungs. You will lift up drywall and hang frames anew. Los Angeles has been through earthquakes, tropical storms, and countless fires before now. This is merely the next chapter of your story. This is the glorious second act no one foresaw. Standing on a bench as the library is reopened and rededicated in the name of all first responders. Standing in the forest, admiring your handiwork as you have helped replant acres of pine trees. Standing in the hallway as the museum packs in visitors for the Saving Los Angeles art exhibit. The homes, hospitals, churches, and schools are reopened with new donated classroom equipment. This is the time to shed impractical identities. You are a winter warrior, a January phoenix. You will survive this.
Thanks for the encouraging words, Eric. I know we will. Tough situation for a lot of people out here. Many, many homes lost. 2 fires, each the size of Manhattan or larger, have already wiped out entire neighborhoods. So, but glad that you're there thinking. I know you used to be here, and now you're on the East Coast. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I'm here in North Augusta, South Carolina.
You have both the words North and South in your city name?
I know, it's so convoluted. I don't know why they can't figure this stuff out.
I'd write someone about that. I feel that needs to be adjusted.
Local congressman, yeah.
Please. Anything going on in your poetry world you want to tell us about?
Yes, I do. I have this wonderful collection of poems here called Leaving Long Beach from Edgar Lenore's publishing house, edited by April Skies. That's up on Amazon now. And I also host a weekly podcast on YouTube called Make Your Own Fun. And coming up this week, we have local Los Angeles poet and artist Billy Burgos. So look out for that.
Billy is a stunning artist and poet. Really cool that you've got him on, and it's a fun show. I had a good time when you had me on there a while back. So thanks for doing that. Glad you're alive and well in North South Carolina, and good to see you.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Eric Lawson. On deck, Karen Harvey. Please welcome now Judy Bryce. Hello, Judy. Judy Bryce, are you there? You got to unmute.
I didn't know I was on deck. Am I up for reading now?
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to let you know, Rick, that at least the transmission through my computer is really very spotty. I don't know whether other people are. I'm having tremendous trouble hearing. Every third word is out. So I don't know whether that's here or everywhere. Can you hear me? Rick?
We can hear you. I think it might be an internet connection issue on your end, because you're a little bit breaky uppy, as it were. But why don't you get to your poem? Because for the most part.
Okay, my poem is entitled Winger Chic. I'm from Boston, and this is the name of a beach on the East Coast. Go to Winger Chic, I say, and the beach will ride the waves. The seals, they'll drop from rocks fast and beyond those piping, restless gulls. Go, find that beach, that northern one with gritty sand and pelting rain. Its wind, those heaving waves on end, the ones all teal, their foam on green, and wild, the gusts so excited, rough, that spray so restless. Go now, I say, and breathe deep the froth, its comb, head into the wind, the sun, its yippy gulls and clouds with gray to stave off rubber rust so breathless brown, its wriggly kelp, that frolic of seaweed. I mean, how it decorates the shore. Go, seize the rocks, the sand, and try to catch those flighty pipers. But oh, did I forget to add those grabby, insolent gulls? Go, and soon you'll forget your crows, those harsh, those mean, those ebony ones, the black and bloody birds that haunt and chew your insides bare. Oh, go to Winger Chic again and steal the sun and sky now and still while time remains. Go before your crows return, before the red is black, come back to haunt your insides rare. Just leave before barely blood is left, before your time and life are gone. Go now, go. Go, I say, go to Winger Chic and grab your precious diamond kite, your last remaining one. Let her waft, let her fly, fly free, fly wild over all those roiling, those undertow waves.
A Boston poem, you said.
Well, no, I just wrote it, but it's about a Boston beach that I loved when I was in Boston.
Well, it completely makes up for your husband's poem about Pittsburgh.
I can't hear you. You have to say it again. It completely makes up for what? Got to hear
your
that
husband's your husband's poem about Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
A joke worth repeating. Very good. Judy, anything going on in your poetry world you want to tell us about?
Well, I have a book that's coming out in the next couple of months, probably. It's entitled A Whisper Branch, and it's coming out by, what's the name of the press, Charlie? I blocked the name of the press. Word Tech Communications, and it'll probably be out in the next couple of months, and I'm delighted. I've worked about 5 years on it, and they've published about 4 of my books, so I'm looking forward to it.
That's great. Something to look forward to. Congrats on that. It's nice to have a good relationship with a publisher who believes you and supports you, and you feel good about sending your work. So well done. And thank you so much for being here, Judy.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much for doing this. This is a wonderful experience. It's wonderful to hear these voices here. Everybody's voice is so interesting and different, and it's great and moving. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Thanks very much. Round of applause for Judy Bryce. On deck, Jennifer Phillips. Please welcome now Karen Harvey. Hi, Karen.
Hi, happy to be with you all. Been watching with great concern from Wales about the forest fires and the decimation to all the homes and etc. So love to anybody who's affected or their loved ones are affected. Right, just a tiny introduction. I watched a psychological thriller some months ago, which put me on a train of thought. So here we go. Psychological thriller, unraveling her backstory frame by frame, splintered memory, body in the cellar. Descending the cellar steps, she turns the key over and over in her hand. There is no door at the bottom of the steps. No door means no lock, no key. I can see across the dimly lit room to the fireplace opposite. It is daytime. The only light that enters the room is from an A4 size window in the door, which leads up to the street level. It is surrounded by railings. The gate is padlocked.
Karen, great piece. Thank you for. No, good to hear that piece. Good to have an international poet with us. I guess when you live where you live, you don't consider yourself international because you're just where you are, and it's a domestic situation, and you're fine with it. For us, this is very exotic to have someone from Wales reading.
I love to join international groups, and yeah, it's a community.
We love to have you. Anything going on in your poetry world you want to tell us about?
I haven't submitted much the last year because we moved house and did a lot of big things, but a poetry publisher and writer of books on writing for well-being and writing poetry craft reached out to me recently and asked can she quote me in a response I sent some years ago to her question about what poetry means to us. And I was really surprised. She saved that quote, and that will be coming out in a book which I can't name, and I can't name the author, but it'll be coming out in quite an important book this year. So yeah, part of the international inquiry into poetry.
One world, one community of poets. Sounds really cool, Karen. Glad to have you with us. I sent you a message in the chat. I know you've been commenting on other people's poems, but you might not realize it, but all your messages are going directly to me, and you have to change the little drop down to change it to everyone so they see the things that you're saying.
Sorry, I thought I changed it.
That's okay, but I didn't think you were aware of that, and I didn't want to embarrass you, but I also want people to see the nice things that you're saying.
I appreciate everybody's reading, Jess. Thank you.
But take it from me, everyone. Karen has said some very nice things about all of you that only I have seen, but they're really nice. There you go. Round of applause for Karen Harvey. On deck, Randy Fowler. Please welcome now Jennifer Phillips. Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Ron. Rick. I wrote this one before the season that some of us have just finished celebrating Christmas. It's called Christmas Present. Trees washed down to their sketch. Field, mere, bare. -5 degrees overnight, and at sunrise the glass still drops. Christmas morning, crows fluffed up, crouching over seed on icy grass. The heart ventures out and returns quickly, shucking off cold at the door, closing out the past and its drafts, paring down to the skin and lamplight, the hunker and cinch of this moment. Come home to converse in the vernacular of fire. There's much more I would have liked to send in brown paper and string. Defense, strength, truth, a file for the bars, a bar for the doors, for Iranians under death sentence, Gulagites, besieged Ukrainians in the dark, the migrants at the borders, even those sparrows jigging from one foot to the other in the shriveled bush. For now, only this hot breath on the glass between us, a heart drawn on the fogged pain of the world the way a child would draw it. Thanks. That's from my poem, Wrestling with the Angel, Poems of Spiritual Exploration, which is out from Stock, available on Amazon, if anyone is interested in reading it.
Definitely post a link to it in the chat so people can get right to it if you'd like. And thank you for sharing it with us. Yeah, the language of fire is a universal language, I think, which we're getting a little too fluent in my neck of the woods. Thanks for sharing this. Anything else going on you want to let us know about in your poetry?
Well, I have a chapbook that eventually will come out this year, God willing, from Finishing Line, called Sailing to the Edges. And then I'm finishing up a manuscript. So there's always something going on. It keeps me sane and off the streets and helps digest the world and everything that's going on, which otherwise would be just overwhelmingly heartbreaking. So I'm so grateful for language and for a community of people who cherish it. So thank you all for that.
Lovely sentiment, Jennifer. Thank you so much for sharing that. Good luck with your chapbook and all the various things you have going on that keep you off the streets. As well, I was wandering around the streets, and I thought maybe if I just wrote poems that would help. I'm not sure if it was better or not, but at least I'm inside now. Round of applause for Jennifer Phillips. Thank you, Jennifer. On deck, Daryl Perry. Please welcome now Randy Fowler. Hi, Randy.
Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. 7 times for a man. Quote, leaving is not easy. On average, it takes a victim 7 times to leave before staying away for good. Leaving abuse at work is not easy for a man. A guy's greatest fear is being seen as soft. I'm doing this for my wife. I'm providing for my kids. I can't get a job elsewhere. I have no advocate. I'll get punished if I raise the issue or report it or even gossip about it. The bully boss has too much power. It's not that bad. I'm being soft. I believe his criticisms. I've lost confidence in myself. I would lose my social group. I feel grateful for the job. I feel guilty for leaving. What would my extended family think? I was abused as a child. I was bullied as a teen. I was excluded in high school, so I'm used to it. I have the challenge of ADHD, bipolar, depression, anxiety, speech impediment, or handicap. So I'm lucky to have this job. Poem.
And we're lucky to have you reading for us, Randy. Thank you so much for that. Where are you reading to us from?
I'm actually on vacation in New Jersey and have been sick, so I've been writing a lot of poetry while my kids have been skiing.
Vacation and New Jersey. Now, is that a new couplet of words that weren't previously?
I know, funny, but we have a family condo here.
I see. Okay. I guess that's fine. We can allow that for familiar reasons. Anything going on in your poetry world you want to tell us about?
Yes, actually, I have delivered to J.R. Turek, who's on the call, and I'm paying her to edit my first either book or chapbook of poetry, and I've sort of tentatively titled it Dancing with Despair and Delight.
Two dance partners of note, I would say. Do you recommend that we all send all of our money to J.R. Turek?
Sure.
Okay. Well, she's
Very
coming up
talented
in,
woman.
yeah, she's coming up in a few, and we'll see if we can get the information on how to directly pay her for all the things. Randy, thanks for being here, and enjoy your vacation.
All right. And thank you for the messages. I don't know how to read them on my phone, but I see them pop up. So thank you.
No problem. Everyone, email your messages directly to Randy. He'll eventually see them all. There you go. Round of applause for Randy Feller. We're zooming through it. I think we're about halfway through now. On deck, Scott Norman Rosenthal. Please welcome now Daryl Perry. Hi, Daryl.
Hi there. And once again, Rick, thank you for everything that you do. You're a pillar of the community. And I know people have said it before, but I'm saying it too. And now for the poem. This one I wrote recently. I swear I've been trying to write this for a long time, but it finally clicked relatively recently. And this is called Gen X Didn't Write Trauma Poetry. Yes, we did all of that shit the memes say we did. We got water from fountains and garden hoses. We fell off our bikes and rode around bloody. We came home from third grade to empty houses and boiled water to make our own mac and cheese. We went outside and shot each other with BB guns and didn't come home until after sunset. And no one really cared. Yes, it was 10 o'clock, and our parents didn't know where their children were, because we were raised by elderly neighbors and 24-hour diners. No, we didn't have cell phones or internet, and we didn't have trauma in the 70s and 80s, because that word did not only belong to us if we went to the hospital because we fell off the monkey bars or got a concussion while playing dodgeball. No, there was no autism, except for in that little half school bus, or in the room sequestered off at the end of the hall that no one talked about. We didn't have the benefit of spectrums back then. Gender fluidity did not exist in the wild, and even though we called everything around us gay. And if you have a disability, no one talked about that either. You just went to class and pretended to be normal, and everyone ignored it and acted like you were, because talking about things was inappropriate. No, there was no anxiety or mental illness or substance abuse or domestic violence. These were not concepts that were taught to us. And if you lived with any of these things, it's just how life was, because you didn't know any better. We were feral, released to the streets, left to learn from experience. Yes, we knew there were things being kept from us, and we endeavored to discover them on our own. But most of those lessons we didn't truly grasp until adulthood. Sometimes we lost friends along the way because we didn't have the vocabulary to understand how to help them. But now that we are older and we have learned, we have taught those who came after us the words and concepts we never knew, so that they would never have to claw their way to empathy, to understanding, to self-illumination. Yes, sometimes I smile when the 20-somethings spit their poems about their mommy issues, their daddy issues, their hair trauma, food trauma, poverty or broken home trauma, or their various medical conditions, diagnosed or otherwise. But I'm not mocking their pain. I'm simply marveling at what a beautiful gift it is for them to know how to express it. That was kind of long. Sorry about that.
I really dug it, though. Daryl, it speaks to how I grew up when no one knew anything and no one cared, so you could just wander around, go into empty, drains in the middle of the town and just see where those tunnels went. It was an innocent time that somehow we all survived. Thank you for sharing that piece. Anything you want to let us know about going on in your world?
Okay, so I know several people in the room, actually pretty nice number, have been graced the digital pages of Stick Figure Poetry Quarterly, which is available at stickfigurepoetry.com. And the new issue is out because we publish in January, so the January issue is currently out. But what I'd really like to say is that we got a beautiful new facelift. So we have a brand new look for and a brand new flow for the website, and I think you should all go check it out because it looks really good, and I'm proud of it. We even got a couple new features. So if you're included, there is now an index of contributors. So you can go on and see who else has been involved in stick figure poetry. So
That's great. It's stickfigurepoetry.com?
yep.
I'm gonna go there and check it out. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, people should go and see it. It's very exciting to when a website gets updated and you make a big improvement from what you had and you add features and searchable, and that's really awesome. Well done, Daryl. And much success to Stick Figure Poetry in the future. Round of applause for Daryl Perry. Everyone on deck is Lisa Rhodes Ryabchich. Please welcome now Scott Norman Rosenthal. Hi, Scott.
Hello. Okay, are we gonna mute? Yes. Well, I still don't have any of my newer work, so I'm gonna have to delve into the old. I don't think I've done this one for this particular audience. It's a little bit long, but none of my work is really long. So this just might do. No, actually, I do this one. The lost enchanter recalls honey. And its bouquets of strength, heady, coursing the veins like wine, as I dined in the mornings and in the long afternoons in a house with the windows open. Now that the sun is like an old harlot or a false friend, too late found out. Now, the rooster's crow becomes bees buzzing in my dreams. The people in the houses, the lamplit streets, are no less alien than I. The whole surface of the earth is foreign. The nighted roads will not lead me home.
Nice piece, Scott. You seem to have mastered this whole Zoom situation. Appreciate you being here. Anything you want to mention going on in your poetry world?
Well, I've always got a gripe, but the fact is that my entire life has been a juxtaposition of circumstance due to my particular disability, which is about as psychological as a broken arm. But I do need instruction in how to use LibreOffice with a Microsoft system, a Windows system, because previously I used it successfully on Linux. But when I took my stimulus money and decided to invest in computer equipment, so I'd have something that wouldn't break down on me continually, I had to take, Microsoft. I had to accept Microsoft. I'm looking for instruction, and if anybody can give it to me, I'm willing to pay. Can't pay an awful lot of money.
All right. Well, a potential
LibreOffice.
gig for anyone watching who might know how to use that particular software. Please reach out to Scott to see if you can help him. Scott, good luck with it, and
I'll
thank you
put
so much for
my
being here
email
today.
in the chat.
Good, very good.
Yeah, they did let me learn how to read. They didn't let me finish high school, but I was learning how to read. Wasn't that
A
nice?
bonus, because it also let you write, as it were. Scott, thank you so much for being here. A round of applause for Scott Norman Rosenthal. On deck, Ron Bremner. Please welcome now Lisa Rhodes Riabchich. Hello, Lisa.
Hi. Hi, can you see me? I can't see myself. Let me see. Yeah, not very big. Can you see me? I can't see me. Okay, good. All right. So I'm gonna read a poem called Igloo. Hope I haven't read it here before, but I'm gonna read this to you today. See if you like it. I am a cool Eskimo-like structure composed of cute Alexi-like cubes, making a wall of comfort in the brain-altering world. A sudden release of endorphins, radiating a cool, chilled moment in relaxation, redefining phantasmagory, skiing in snow in summer heat, skin stretched like a wet seal's rubbery blubber, extra vaste, blast of Arctic air, dot cheeks, bones to blossom, pretty pink. Trees filter ice light, reflective light, brain light, bird flight, scattered light, sifts photosynthetic light like a flashlight. At night, beaming under the covers, red hand light, skeleton light. I glue to you when I am near you, knew you, attracted to you. I see you. Thank you.
We see you too, Lisa. It's a two-way street. Thank you for that piece. Well done. Any poetry news from you want to let us know about?
Well, this poem, as a matter of fact, this great publication called Oye Drum nominated this poem for a Pushcart Prize. So I'm kind of really happy about that. That's my first. I've never gotten one before. So I'm kind of really happy about that. And I've been published in Moonstone Arts numerous times in the past couple of months for a bunch of their anthologies, which I'm thrilled about. And I sent out some manuscripts for publication for different contests, one for Chapa contest, and another one for full-length book, another Chaplet contest. And also, I put together a short story collection. I sent that out for publication. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed to see where I'm going to get in, if any of those places. But, I'm out there pushing my work out there and trying to get more stuff published. And that's where I'm at. So I feel positive, and that's where I'm at. And I'm going to keep going for it. So, yeah.
That's the way to do it. Pushcart nomination is a is a big deal. So well done on that.
Thank you.
And I hope you win it. For
Thank
that
you.
matter.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. And thank you so much for being here, Lisa.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
No problem. A round of applause for Lisa Rhodes Riabchich. Thank you, Lisa. On deck, J.R. Turek. Please welcome now Ron Bremner. Hello, Ron.
Hi, all. For the past 6 years, I've been rejected every year by the Platform Review. So this year, I was really shocked when they took two of my poems, and they'll be in their February issue. One of them was a philosophical poem, and this one is a sort of a Dada-esque poem. It's called Basket of Tears. A movie theater advertises free popcorn to those who wear underwear and shoes and sit on unpainted seats. A woman wearing a blood red dress laughs uncontrollably at parked cars. A meter maid eats a peach and stares at her. An aged man brandishes a balloon on the subway platform. The F train screeches and halts like a ghost on fire. Passengers disembark, not noticing religion. A truck full of nails repeats itself. A hamper full of unborn clothes collapses. A basket of tears can't stop crying. A house full of lice diminishes. Thank you.
Ron, thank you for that piece, and congrats on finally getting picked up at a place that you've been submitting to for a long time. It's a good example for all of us in terms of perseverance and not letting rejection, which is what we all get much more commonly and will continue to get even with successes, not let it get us down or be discouraging. Anything else going on you want to tell us about?
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky lately. My erasure of Sylvia Plath's poem Mirrors was accepted by Unlost magazine. My erasure of T.S. Eliot's poem The Naming of Cats was accepted for a T.S. Eliot tribute special done by Moonstone Arts. Jerry Jazz Musician asked me to write an essay on the climate of 2025 and what I expect it to be, and they published that. And I got something into Poets Online, my poem Cycling. So I've been a little lucky lately, more so than I've been all year. So something's happening. I don't know what.
Keep it up and keep us informed. And well done. Congrats on all that. Ron, thank you so much for being here. Round of applause for Ron Bremner. On deck, Karen Weber. Please welcome now Judy Turek. Hello, JR.
Hi. Healthy, happy new year to everyone. This is the first poem I wrote in 2025. New Year's Eve, 2024. Typing a huge pile of my poems to fulfill my annual tradition of a poem a day now for 21 years. A laziness born of habit, letting these creations wait while I dawdle, squandering time and talent, high risk of losing them. I type at a furious pace, clock hands moving toward tomorrow faster than I expect, when Armageddon breaks loose outside my window. Whipping winds and pelting rain, lightning streaks precede an onslaught of thunder I feel beneath my feet. Window pane shimmies as if fearful the wind will tear it from its frame to send it sailing into oblivion. A quick, heartfelt prayer, the power stays on until I'm done. I click save on the last poem, head downstairs to flashes of light eclipsing everything to blindness. Our dogs are frantic, noise and light sending them in frenzied search for quiet darkness. But there's none of that tonight, until the storm abates. It seemed like hours, but the light show wound down to a single burst. Thunder continues to roll a distant corner continues to roll into a distant corner of the waning year. As a kid, I believed I made God mad. Some indiscretion, deception, lie. Being the brat that I was, it was plausible. And I think of that as the storm pummels us with ferocity, has our front yard Santa dancing with abandon as razor winds try to rip him from his front yard moorings. I confess, I waited too long to start typing, too long all year collecting out poems and storing them to edit another day, when the last day, this day, became my brick wall. I stalled. My bad, my fault, this reckoning. I accept my penance, say a prayer of remorse as I hug the dogs, promise with a resolution made of steel that I won't wait, won't trade my time unwisely, will hold to my word, if only for myself, to myself, and with the word amen, Our world is in silence until fireworks welcome in the new year. The dog's respite short, but our hugs are long and firm, like my conviction to venerate time. Thank you.
Thank you, JR. Really nice to see you again. How's everything with you these days?
Busy, very busy. I host between 6 and 7 events every month. Some in person, some on Zoom. And I'm, an editor too. Thank you, Randy.
Since I made the announcement, did a number of people directly send you electronic payments of some kind?
Not yet, but I do have PayPal if anybody needs to know.
Okay. Well, just put it right in there, and we will all send you all of our money, and whatever we get back for it will be fantastic.
Thank you.
JR, keep up the good work. Nice to see you, as always. Round of applause for JR Turek. On deck, Alia E. Please welcome now Karen Weber. Hello, Karen.
Hi. So in a few weeks will be the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. And I have a poem. It's called Hide and Go Seek, about a young Eva Schloss, who you might not know her, but you'd know her playmate, Anne Frank, and their families were close. So we're going to hear Hide and Go Seek. Still, air, all still. Even the air is frozen. The open front gate blinks to the striped arm mid-air. A few guards flee for the forest, but most make the ones who can still walk march out in lines. Burning documents release letters that shimmy up, disrupting columns of coats, disturbing mounds of teeth where some look for gold, landing in the eyeglasses. Even the air is wounded. I peek from my hiding place in the infirmary, a huge figure covered with snow and fur. A bear? I look closer. It is a man, the first Russian soldier to stumble into camp. The Russians feed us cabbage soup, give us shoes, play balalaika. Each day I carry the dead outside to leave in the snow that looks like diamonds. Even the air is exhausted. At 11, I played games with my friend Anne Frank. One was hide and seek. We both went into hiding with our families. My mother would later find her father, Otto, and marry him. Thanks.
80 years, that's a pretty amazing number to think about. Karen, thank you so much for that piece, powerful imagery in there. Thank you. What's happening with you in poetry you want to tell us about?
I have a small book. It's about 30 to 35 pages, and it's I wrote it with a wonderful photographer, and so the poems are very sparse, and she's looking for different places to publish it. But if anybody has any ideas about a spiritual little outlet that loves poems and photos together, that would be a blessing.
You heard it here first, people. Anyone who's published books like that or read books like that and might have a suggestion for Karen, please send it her way. Good luck with it. Great to hear your piece. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Karen Weber. On deck, Dwayne L. Herman. Please welcome now Alia, or is it Aaliyah?
My name is Aaliyah.
Welcome, Aaliyah. Thanks for being here.
All right. Okay. So I really haven't titled this poem. I just forgot I just realized I didn't title it. But anyways, all right. I will not be quiet. I may fail, but you will hear me fall. I will not be quiet. As the words yearn to soar, longing for release, to return to heaven once more, they beat inside of me and rattle my brain, witching hour or midday walk in a nearby park or on the train. At any point, they tumble. If ignored, they rumble, cause quite a stir, an upheaval of sorts. Yet they do not mind. They just spill out, even in my sleep, requiring the ritual of pen and notepad, a glass of water to cool from the friction. They fall like manna from my soul for others, in darkness and luminous light, float soft as feathers, annoying as clinging dander, not a pinprick, but a lodged dagger, hell bent on scratching my throat. Needling words hurled to come forth as a stew ruptured in my stomach. They torture me if not allowed to burst onto the page, seeking truth like slaves. They are free to live, free to breathe, free to speak. Give me pen, creativity, and the unbound pursuit of poetry. Thank you.
Great last line that I'm sure resonates with everyone here. Aaliyah, thank you so much for that. I saw you posted something earlier in the chat about a forum or that you're a part. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, I run a writing collective. It's on Facebook, so if anyone wants to join, I put the information there. Also, work at a quill and publishing. So if anyone's looking to publish, this is exciting. It's my first publishing job. Really excited. Went out for it in October, and they called me this month. So looking forward to that. If anyone's interested in joining a cohort, I put the information in the chat as well. My name is Aaliyah Elamine.
Aaliyah, that's great info and a really nice invitation as well. Thank you so much for being here. Nice to hear your work, and I hope you come back and read for us again. A round of applause for Aaliyah. Thank you, Aaliyah. Thanks for being here. On deck is Marietta Muglas. Please welcome now Dwayne Herman. Hi, Dwayne.
Hi there. I'm going to read one of 3 poems in this collection. This book has been, it's an American Writing Award finalist, and 3 of my poems are in it, and I don't know exactly why, but that's all right. This poem is about everything like Poetry Superhighway, all those, similar places. Giving voice. Those who give voice to the voiceless gather to share and delight in success when they achieve goals of transformation of lives and hearts from darkness to understanding and acceptance of new visions, new possibilities, to broaden horizons of those with no voice and empower them to dream and arise to fulfill their lives. So that's partly for you, Rick.
Thank you. It helps dissuade me from making the snarky comment I was going to make about
snark away. It's all right.
Why anyone is accepting your poetry, I think is what you said.
I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm not going to say that now because your poem was a nice tribute to people who provide voice or spaces for poems. So you saved yourself, honestly. Maybe that's why they're publishing you. They're
yes. So well, I got some snow here if it'd help you put out the fires. We got 13 inches and I got stuck twice already today, so I'm going to stay home the rest of the day. But on poetry news, I have a poem nominated for a pushcart, and I'm very surprised because I've never been nominated for anything. So, and it's surprising.
And no one knows why you were nominated either.
That's right. Yes. Because I don't think it's worth it, but then who am I?
Tell me the editor's name. I'll set them straight. We'll take care of this, Dwayne. You don't have to. We're going to get rid of the confusion that is happening in your world. You're a fine writer. Thank you so much for being here and representing I mean, you know, Kansas of all places.
We
we've had New Jersey, we've had Pittsburgh, so I think Kansas is right up there with some of those places. So I think we're in good shape today. Dwayne, thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate.
As always, round of applause for Dwayne Herman. It's probably our most well-attended Poetry Superhighway Live reading. A lot of people here who haven't been here, or we just have a nexus of people who've come at different times all at the same time. And Dwayne is one of those people who used to come when it was only like 4 or 5 people, or, you know, so it's like I just happen to know where Dwayne's from because there was so much extra time to find out all these details. At this point, I don't care where any of you are from. There's too many people here to know those details. All right, I'm going to stop. On deck, Jimmy Pappas, please welcome now Marietta Maglas, who I happen to know is zooming in from France. Hello, Marietta.
Hello. Hello, Rick. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. I have a poem published in the Anthology of Poetry Shooting Stars, published by Four Feathers Press editor Don Kingfisher Campbell. The title is Shooting Stars. He moved through her life as a comet orbiting the Earth, never making contact, yet leaving behind only ephemeral shooting stars. She yearned to encounter him and feel his presence, but such a connection would only result in suffering within. She found solace in her solitude, which resembled an ordinary stone, often overlooked on the shore. This solitude was increasingly shaped by the relentless waves. She entered the timeless space of transformation, allowing her memories to dissolve in a final wave, one that resonated a bit longer before fading into nothingness.
Très bien, Marietta. Thank you so much for sharing that piece with us. Anything happening with you in poetry you want to tell us about?
Yes, so as I've said, I have 3 poems published in this anthology of poetry, Shooting Stars, published by the editor Don Kingfisher Campbell. And I have some other 3 poems published in Masticadores, Canada, by the editor Juan Rey Crivello. And I have a poem, Sestina, published in the anthology Startled by Faith at Gabriel's Horn Press by Laura Bosica. And it's coming up this month.
Sweet. Well, that's a lot of feathers in your cap going on all right now. Congratulations on all that. And thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you also.
All right. Round of applause for Marietta Maglas. Thank you, Marietta, for being here. On deck is Tom Woodruff. Please welcome now Jimmy Pappas. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Rick. Could I have permission to screen share? Is that okay?
Yeah, just give me a sec to make that adjustment. One moment.
Beautiful downtown Fiji. I see poor Tom is also there, but he's on the east side. I'm on the west side. We sometimes throw coconuts at each other, but we're doing fine. All right, so I'm going to screen share. This is from Sheila Nagig, a journal, which this was an old poem from there, called Spinoza on the Seine. She placed a sprig of parsley on the table when she left me. She had to find herself, as if she were a set of misplaced keys. What she found of herself was what she made of herself, a woman searching for herself. Like Spinoza's stone, she believed she controlled the flight of her life until she landed. Then she tried to return and realize that the universe is nothing more than God stretching. That's in Sheila Nagig. And I like that some random people put likes down here in the journal. I think that's pretty cool when people do that. I think we should do that more often when we have our poems published.
I think that's great. A great idea. Not every journal necessarily offers the feature of live, likes on the page, but you can always share a page if the journal shares the poems on their social media presence. It's a great place to comment and like on those as well. Interaction, and I mean it's nice when a place picks up a piece. It's really nice when you actually get some sense of the community interacting with it. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. Anything else going on you want to let us know about, Jimmy?
Every Monday night I do my Zoom events. You were a presenter once, but you haven't showed up since, but that's okay. Don't worry. And maybe someday you'll be there again. Every Monday night, they're a little different. We do a lot of conversations and stuff, discuss the poetry, screen sharing all the time, talking about the poem. So it's a lot of fun. And I also work with teens. That's why I was late today. I work every Sunday with, I'm the advisor for the New Hampshire Teen Poet Laureate team. Pretty cool, really. Every Sunday, every week.
That's really cool. Good work, and glad that it ended early enough, or that we went long enough, apparently, that you could be here with us today. Keep sending me the emails on the Monday night deal, and I promise you I will show up at one point to avoid the future calling me out here, and avoid those flying coconuts there in Fiji as well.
All right. I won't hold my breath, though, but we'll see.
It's never a good idea to hold your breath, unless you're underwater, in which case it's the perfect time to do that. Round of applause for Jimmy Pappas. On deck, Randall Bird. Just a few people left on the list. If anyone else is here who didn't sign up already, please send me a message in the chat. If you would like to read, now's your last chance to do that. We have left Tom Woodruff, Randall Bird, David Eberhardt, and me. If anyone else would like to read, please send me a message now. So on deck is Randall Bird. Please welcome now Tom Woodruff. Hello, Tom.
Okay. Hi there, Rick. And it's really good to be with you finally. Thanks for helping with the technology. These are some brief responses to a new thing seeking a new pledge of allegiance, since the violation of ours is happening constantly. If people send it to ineedanewpledge@gmail.com. Here are 4 failed attempts to new paradigms for the times we find ourselves in now. I pledge allegiance to no allegiances, to adaptation to this age of experience, to resumption with communication to all that is conscious and still viable, to strengthen we of weakness, appease the dubious, assert space for those with no space, words for the silent, silence for the verbose, agreement for contentiousness, solution for those of love. I also pledge allegiance to breath, prana, chi, ka, to its cyclic continuance throughout all our bodies, to the libraries of liberation of air, from cars, trucks, toxic waste, radioactivity. I long for this moment to be of bliss and to last forever. I also pledge allegiance to all elements, to earth, air, fire, water, earth, metal, and all billion species, all periodic tables, all sand, silica, computers, all waves, all particles, all kinetic, all potential, all everything. I pledge allegiance to the sun, our only solar-powered server, and to our only moon, lonely, bruised, beaten like a 1950s wife, pockmarked, strewn with failed SpaceX rocket parts, still receiving abuse like a 50s wife. How much more can you take before you finally reverse our poles, just like you did for Emmanuel Velikovsky? Thanks for being, Rick. Thanks for doing this.
Tom, thank you, and thanks for letting us know about the Need a New Pledge project. It's Richard Loringer, right?
Yes, Richard Loringer is an amazing poet based in San Francisco, and he's trying not to personalize it, but he thinks we really do need positive panaceas that only poets can project through ways of articulating community. And since we're living in an age that defies and negates and uses hate instead of connection. But anyway, yes, Richard Loringer, great guy.
Yeah, really good. He comes to the reading I host on Tuesday nights, Cobalt Poets, and has been talking about that for a while. I think it's ineedanewpledge.com.
Yes,
And
I need a new pledge at gmail.com.
Oh, that's how you email, but there's a website that
Oh yeah,
already.
good. Yes, that's true. That's where they all get put up, and I urge every poet to make their fantastic paradise in words while it's still possible.
Really cool. Well, Tom, thank you so much for being here. I'm glad the technicalities all got worked out and you're here. Please say hi to Jimmy Pappas, also there in Fiji with you. And please, he's a fierce coconut hurler, so watch out for
Rick,
that as well.
Rick, you know it's Austin, Texas. You know that.
I'm just impressed that Austin, Texas looks the way it does in the background there. But
it's all illusion. It's, words versus images, and images always win despite Photoshop.
I was in Austin. I don't remember the ocean, but maybe I was on the west side, and that was the issue.
Beautiful lake, with two names, Lady Bird Lake and Town Lake. So come back, do more poetry. Open mics everywhere.
Will do. Tom, thanks so much. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. A little overdressed for the beach. I'll just mention that, but other than that, it's fine. Round of applause for Tom Woodruff. Thank you, Tom. On deck now is David Eberhardt. Please welcome now Randall Bird. Hello, Randall.
Hey, Rick, how's it going? Anybody hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're good. Go ahead and
okay. All right. So this poem's called Artisans and Fools. The sparks of protest fly as hammer pounds to make a stubborn ingot sharper steel. In pummeling, perfection will reveal its simple shifting shape with banging, clanging sounds. This repetition lasts for several rounds. As smithy molds, the metal does appeal for mercy from relentless hammer's zeal. The artisan, in answer, only frowns. When flames are duly doused and metal cools, the finished product's polish is applied, and only then the maker will decide if labor's love is worthy of his tools. Its quality is thus identified, the difference in artisans and fools. There it is.
Randall, nice to see you again. It's been a long time.
Yes.
I hope you've been well. How's everything in your poetry world?
Very good. Sparks of Calliope. I'm editor of Sparks of Calliope, and it's going great. Just put out a top 5 classical English poets in the public domain there, and had a lot of lively discussion going on as to whether they like my list or they think somebody else ought to be on that list. I posted that link in the chat, but that was interesting. But still taking poems, trying to publish a poem every 3 days. Yeah, so very good.
Cool. Well, glad that's still going well. Sparks of Calliope, a cool publication. Glad you're still doing the work to keep that alive. And yeah, it's fun when a conversation happens based on something that you put out there, and it's always extra fun on the internet when that happens. But I'm sure there was some good comments and thoughts and interaction there.
Well, it was interesting that a lot of people don't seem to realize that classic has 2 definitions. There's the study of Greek and Latin literature, and then there's just the kind of the respected canon of work, long established work. And I had a lot of snarky comments from people with MFA after their name that classic means Greek and Latin, and it actually has 2 definitions in every dictionary that I looked in. So,
do you have a lot of dictionaries at your house?
Well, I've got the internet. I mean, the Oxford, Webster, Merriam, you take your pick. There's 2 definitions for classic.
Very good, and touche, as it were. Randall, thank you so much for being here. Nice to see you again. Keep up the good work. Round of applause for Randall Bird.
Thanks.
On deck, Diana Stewart. Looks like it's just David Eberhardt, Diana Stewart, and me for the rest of... It's who I have left on the list. Diana, you're on deck. Please welcome now David Eberhardt. Hello, David.
Can you hear me?
We sure
Am
can.
I audible?
You are, yes.
Oh, good. This poem, I wish everyone a nonviolent and good
new year, and you'll see why this poem has special significance for me, having open heart surgery tomorrow. Poem is Politically Correct Ketef. The Ketef Hinnom silver amulet, probably a charm from 4 to 500 BC, unrolled. It still shines. First discovered, written down words from the Bible, way back in the burial chamber, back under more recent stuff, broken, looted, some sort of scroll. But still, once unrolled, the old benediction across all the years keeps coming and coming. May the Lord bless and keep you beside the ticking IV. May the Lord cause its face to shine upon you, since it's so shiny. Scroll rolled up, cigarette size, grant you peace, comfort. Scroll finally unrolled, the horror of operations, ICUs, visiting rooms, and give you peace. Read it in the Paleo-Hebraic first, if possible. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause their face to shine upon you. May the Lord lift up its countenance upon you and give you peace.
David, thank you for that prayer and the sentiments within it. I know that we wish you the best of luck and success with your surgery tomorrow, and we hope to hear more poems from you. Is there anything else going on in your poetry world you want to tell us about?
Bypass. It's another name for it. And I'm saying, let's bypass Trump. No, just kidding.
No,
Can't do it.
I agree with that, and I think that perhaps if you can ask your surgeons if they could throw that in to what they're doing, that would be very helpful.
Oh boy.
All right, David, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Best of luck to you tomorrow. We hope to hear from you again. Round of applause for David Eberhardt. On deck is me to close out the open reading. Please welcome now Diana Stewart. Hello, Diana.
Hi, Rick. Thank you very much. I live in New York City. And how many people here are grandparents? Anybody but me? Oh, I'm the only one? Well, my poem is written jointly with my 4-year-old, when my 4-year-old grandson was 4. Grammy, do you want to know a secret? Poem by Victor Gordon Comtu Valdez and Diana Jean Stewart. Grammy, do you want to know a secret? Sure, I bent closer over the park bench to hear his whisper. I know what I am going to be when I grow up. That's Bob the Builder, Victor the Builder. I am going to build rocket ships to go to outer space. I will become a robot for 12 years, and then I will turn into Victor again. When I come back, I will build a time machine and go back in time to meet T-Rex. Oh, you've got quite an imagination. No, Granny, it's not my imagination. It's real. I look down at the detailed purple sidewalk chalk drawing of the rocket ship as big as its 4-year-old artist engineer. We are living in a science fiction world that is fast becoming science fact. As I took my grandson's hand, we stepped into the ship to begin our journey into the future.
What a great vision of your grandkids and the things that they're up to, Diana. Thank you so, and may be up to in the future, apparently, making the world a better place, sending us all into outer space. etc. Diana, thank you so much for that.
He doesn't
anything
want to
to-
be going into outer space anymore. Now he's 9 years old.
He's already done with outer space at 9.
No,
well,
he's moved on.
He's moved on. That's fine. Anything going on in your poetry world you want to tell us about?
I'm doing a lot of writing, and I'm working full time in another field, but I am trying to do more writing. When I retire, I'm going to be putting it all together into a book. Thank you.
Cool. Well, best of luck with that. I'm glad you made it in today, and thank you so much for your poem. Round of applause for Diana Stewart. Thank you, Diana. That is everyone but me, so I'm going to close out with one poem. This poem is a new one. It was written after a line from this coming weekend's Torah portion. It's the beginning of the book of Exodus, and this line of text appears in it. Now go and get to work. You will not be given any straw, but you must deliver your quota of bricks. And the poem is called Ballad of the Gig Worker. This one's for the ride-share driver, pouring their time into moving people from one place to the other, their car a commodity, their gasoline provided on their own dime. This one's for the teachers draining their bank accounts to make sure pencils are on their students' desks. This one's for the gig worker, health insurance, an expensive dream in this greatest country where all the other less great countries wouldn't dream of charging you for a Band-Aid. This one's for the bill payers, the ones who count their own beans, the ones who compare toothpaste prices, the ones who think only rich people go out to eat. This one's for the ones who think they saw the word mortgage in a fantasy novel, who see the word rent as a punishment. This one's for the ones who have to gather their own straw. These treasure cities aren't going to build themselves. These bricks, our own burden to make out of nothing. There you go. I write a Torah portion poem every week. I post them at jewishpoetry.net in case you need to get your weekly Torah study in. If you need me to sign something from your rabbi, I'm always willing to do that. Let me know. Thank you all for being here. What an amazing open reading. We had people from all over the world were here. So I'm not going to reread the list to thank everyone, but thanks everyone for being here. Longest list we've had at one of these open readings, Poetry Superhighway live open readings. So really thrilled at the growth, especially since it's the first time we're not even simulcasting on Facebook because of a connection issue I'm having right now. But the YouTube thing seems to be working out just fine for this time around. So 2 items of Poetry Superhighway business before I let you all go. First of all, I'll just mention that our annual Great Poetry Exchange project will begin on February 1st. That's one where if you've got a physical book of poems that you'd be willing to send to someone else in the world, you can sign up for the Great Poetry Exchange. And at the end of February, on March 1st, I'm going to send you an address, and you're going to send your book to that person, and then someone else who's participating is going to send their book to you. It's called the Great Poetry Exchange. We've done it for many years, and that will be launching on February 1st. By launching, it means that's when you can sign up to offer your book to participate. So there you go. That's the first thing, so look for a special notice on that when February starts. And the only other thing to tell you is that our next open reading will be next month on Sunday, February 9th, same time, starting at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. I get a lot of questions from people in other time zones as to what that means to them. I don't know. I'm going to have to let you figure that out based on your knowledge of where you are in the world. I can tell you for sure it's 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And for sure it's Sunday, February 9th, unless, of course, that time is actually on Monday, February 10th at some other part in the world. That's also a possibility. I'm really not sure. But thanks everyone for being here. Really great reading tonight. I'm going to click on the Ask All to Unmute button in case y'all want to say hi to each other before we shut this thing down.
Well, thanks, Rick, and thanks
Thank
everybody.
you, thank you, thank you, thank
Rick,
you.
thanks,
This
everybody.
wonderful selection of poems.
Good to be here again.
Tonight.
Thank you so much, Rick, and everybody. I loved listening to all your work. It was wonderful.
I agree.
Likewise,
Everything was
likewise,
great.
likewise.
Excellent tonight. Thank you all.
Thanks.
You have unleashed the Tower of Babel. Beautiful.
Yeah.
A total delight.
Please have a
Indeed.
great new year, everyone. Please.
Yes.
You as well. You as well.
Thank you.
All the best to all of you.
Here. Thank you so very much, Rick. This was just a delight, and you do a delightful job every month. So thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you all. Thanks for being here, everyone.